So we have an audience of 250 deans and directors of the world's leading business schools. What is your advice to them about the skills, both hard and soft, they now to be teaching on their MBA programs or Master's Business programs to give you and other multinationals or entrepreneurial startups MBAs who are fit for purpose on day one for this new world that you describe?
Difficult question, and I'm not sure I'm going to be popular with all of the deans of business schools for what I'm going to say, but I'll say it anyway.
That's fine.
I think the MBA schools turned out people to foster capitalism, and the MBA school is created to enhance and keep capitalism alive and going, because that's really what they teach us in MBA school: free markets. It's master of business administration. So the belief is business is good. The question is, what is the right form of capitalism for the world today? I think the shareholder value theory, which persisted all this time, and we go into business schools, and the primary message that most business schools impart to their students is shareholder value is paramount, create value at all costs, and that's really what was taught. And I'd go so far as to say what was taught in business schools was you focus on making the money, all you people from business schools. If you have a legal problem, get somebody from the law school. If you have an environmental problem, get somebody from the environmental school. And if everything fails, get somebody from the divinity school to pray for you. I think that's been the approach.
Right.
I think things have to change going forward, because business cannot exist in a vacuum. Business cannot pass on cost to society. Business cannot survive in governments worrying about its shareholders and not worrying about the communities and the societies and the countries in which we operate in. So I think we have to almost create a new form of capitalism that works for everyone. And for us to create this new form of capitalism, we need to retool business schools, and we need to retool the students so that people come in realizing that they're not just going to come in from any background and come out as these money-making individuals. You need that, but how do you take that and add another purpose envelope around it? And I think that's the big change business schools have to do. Get students ready for jobs day one, who come out knowing that capitalism has a bigger role than just creating shareholder value, that too in the short term.
So how do you believe business schools can best teach and get across those issues of sustainability and responsible management? Or do you believe it's part of the DNA of the human being that's the student in the first place?
I don't think it's the DNA of the student, because I think the intake is pretty diverse. We get students from history, English, environmental science, every discipline, and then we sort of squish them together and say shareholder value theory abounds, or is paramount. In most schools, I'm not saying all, yet most business schools exist within a university ecosystem. They have very strong law schools, environmental schools, divinity schools, public policy schools, public health schools. We teach in business schools how organizations should break down silos. I think the question to ask business schools, do you break down the silos in the universities? Do you take a case and bring people from all the other schools to come and help you teach it? Why do you have to zip through a case? Why don't you take one case and study all facets of it? Bring people from all other schools to teach the case. I think what we've forgotten is that business exists in an economy, exists in a community, and the university is a microcosm of that community. Why should business schools professors say, teaching is only my prerogative? Why not say, I've got to invite all the others in to give their perspectives?
So science, theology, all the other areas.
Everything. Let's talk about every aspect of it, because I think business is getting more complex. And I think we're trying to say we can still get these MBA students out in 18 months or 24 months. We're trying to shorten the cycle more and more. I don't think it works that way. I think issues are much more complex. And today with social media, we almost have to train these MBA students even more on messaging. How do you talk about the impact of social media on your business, the role of multilateral organization, the role of NGOs? I mean, if you want them to be ready for the job day one, and we don't have the luxury to bring novices and train them for years, we just don't.